Welcome back to the channel, RacerX here, and today I thought I would put a really quick video together for you guys about a little bit of Dodge news that just came down the pipe this morning. Actually, our buddies over at the Mopar Insiders wrote about this. Apparently, the new Charger Sixpack, we've been expecting that. It's going to have the Hurricane inline twin-turbo six-cylinder, and they named it something I was not expecting. Dodge went a little bit of a different route with this, so today we'll talk about that. If you guys are brand new to the channel, do me a big gigantic favor, hit subscribe. You'll find that button right over here, and off we go. Well, as we know, the rumor mill, it is spinning really hard right now, as it often does. So many of you guys have messaged me asking me to weigh in on a lot of this. I feel like some of the rumors are true. I feel like some of them are just way out in left field and untrue. And I feel like the vast majority of it is still sort of being decided, so we don't know if it's true or not. There's an awful lot of things happening behind closed doors. Carlos Tavares has only been gone 6 months, and we've already seen sort of a huge about face with everything Stellantis, everything Mopar. They're kind of reverting back, and I think a lot of people are really happy about that. We're happy we have the right leadership in place now. A lot of things happening, but it takes time to kind of get there. Is there a new CUDA coming? I've seen, the little thing on the wall with, the CUDA symbol on it. I think that would be really cool, but we don't necessarily know what that car would be. Is the Challenger going to come back? Some have rumored that as well. I can't find any information or any conversation that I've had with anybody that substantiates that piece of it. Is the Viper coming back? Maybe. I would think that would be a wicked car if the Viper came back. Would they sell a ton of them? It's really going to depend on price point and what that car is all about. I feel like it would be a very expensive car, but I wouldn't put it beyond the realm of possibilities to see a new Viper come down, and that would make a pretty cool new flagship car for the channel if they happen to do something like that. Is a new street truck coming down from Dodge? Yes. Is it going to be a single cab? I don't think so at all, based on the conversations I've had with Tim Kuniskis in the past and about just that shrinking market segment. But a larger Bad Daddy red-eye powered truck, I feel like it's definitely going to happen. And there's just all sorts of stuff that we kind of have a better handle on, right? Are they going to put a V8 Hemi in the Charger body? Yes, they're working on that right now. We don't know when we're actually going to see it. My guess is it's going to be a 2020, maybe a late 2026 when they actually make that happen. Supposedly they have mules out there that they're working on, but I know they had to make some chassis tweaks to make all of that work. And there are some other things that are at play with that offering. I think it's going to happen. It's just going to take some time, guys. So we have to be patient there. And like I said, a lot of this is going to hinge on price point and what they're able to do to keep the price point down. And the other thing we know is that the Charger Daytona EV is not doing well at all. We've covered that in a lot of other videos. It's no secret. And apparently what Dodge was going to do is they were going to release a more budget-friendly version of that car. But based on all the adverse reaction from all the enthusiasts and everything out there, I think they're just kind of going away from that. We've already talked about the fact that that car is basically going to be order only, like for the rest of this year, moving into next year. And they're really going to focus on the gas-powered cars. So initially they were going to kind of give a GT-type version of the Charger Daytona that's cheaper, hits a less price point. And they just decided to go away from that. Now we know that the Hurricane Inline 6 standard output version will be called the GT. So instead of that going on the EV, they're actually going to put it on the gas-powered car, and that base version, 420 horsepower, that's going to be under the GT distinction. Now, the high output version, which is the version I'm kind of interested in, that is the 550 horsepower version. Same 3-liter inline twin-turbo 6-cylinder, just puts out more power, different calibration. Some of the engine internals are actually different on that version of the Hurricane, and they're going to call that the Outlaw, and I think that is pretty darn cool. Now, I've not seen anything that actually shows what this badge might look like for the Outlaw, but I think they're really trying to kind of go away from a lot of the negativity that came out with the Daytona EV, and they're trying to just go with a completely different namesake namesake on both of those two cars. So obviously the GT, that has been out forever, right? I mean, you know, you've got all sorts of different GT versions from, you know, Dodge and Chrysler. I mean, just there's tons of GT stuff they've already done, right? And so the GT distinction doesn't surprise me, but the Outlaw, I think that's a pretty darn cool name. And I do think that this is going to be a very capable car with that Hurricane engine. I know a lot of guys are like, look, V8 or die, you know, ride hard with the V8 crew. I mean, I get it, and that's kind of how Mopar sort of dug their heels in for just the past, I don't know how many decades. It's sort of what they're known for. But the Hurricane obviously makes more power. It makes more torque. It actually makes power just as fast. It's way faster on the highway. I mean, it is a really good engine, in my opinion. So the six-pack is supposed to start production by the end of this month. So just a few weeks away from starting production on this, and we should start seeing them in the dealerships by the end of June. At least that's what they're telling us right now. A lot of dealerships have already placed their orders for these cars. Now keep in mind that the four-door version of this, it's the same chassis and everything like that. They just moved the B-pillar a little bit. And I don't know if they're going to have both the four-door and the two-door go down the assembly line at the same time. We'll just have to wait to see how that goes. But the four-door version will get the standard output GT version of the Hurricane, and then of course the high output, the Outlaw, will be in the two-door version of this. I would imagine they'll get the two doors out first, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. Now, one other cool feature that I didn't mention is it will have all-wheel drive standard, but there will also be a way to just turn the all-wheel drive off and just go rear wheel if you want to do a burnout, do a drift, a slide, whatever it may be. It's a lot easier to do it with two-wheel drive, so that is another feature that is coming. I can't wait to see that. And certainly from a price perspective, we don't have any information on price at this point. And that is going to be the key thing for most people, right? I mean, if this thing comes out and it's $70,000, it's just going to turn a lot of people off again. And I know we've got this whole tariff thing happening right now, which I'm not going to get into a lot, but there's a lot of potential for the cost to kind of get up there with this. And I know that, you know, Tim Kuniskis and Matt McAleer and all those guys are beating their heads up against a wall trying to figure out how to drive prices down to get all the enthusiasts back on board with what they're trying to do right now. So, and I kind of get that piece of it, but let's hope that these things come out and they're way more affordable, or at least they're in the realm of not being crazy, and maybe some people can actually get these and have some fun with them. They won't have the same sound as the V8, which is coming, like we talked about. So anyway, guys, I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet today. Just wanted to put that information out there for you. So the Outlaw will be the name of the high-output Hurricane-equipped Charger for 2025. I would love to get my hands on a pre-production model of this just to give you my thoughts, see how it drives. I don't know if this would be a car I would buy for the channel or not. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to be crazy about the sound of this. Performance-wise, as I mentioned, I think it's going to be pretty solid. And from a tunability perspective, I think it's also going to be pretty solid, with the limiting factor actually being the transmission on these. We saw at Roadkill Nights how many people pop the transmission. Now this new transmission is basically a revised ZF transmission. They say it's a little bit better in terms of how much power it will actually hold. That remains to be seen, but this could be a fun little car. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. What do you think about the Outlaw designation? Would you be somebody that would get in line to buy one of these? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.